Hello and welcome to this tutorial in After Effects. I'm Luisa Winters. Today I would like to continue talking about what to do with the techniques that we learned in previous tutorials. Let's get to it. So we left it at this sequence of clips that we had here the last time. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that composition, and I would like to talk about just bringing text in. So this is not about text animation in After Effects, but instead is about using the skills that we learned in previous tutorials. Alrighty, let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and create a composition for this guy, and I right-click it, a new composition from selection, and there you go. And I'm now going to select the in and out points. And I could have done it differently, but it's okay. I'm going to do it in this manner. I'm going to scrub the timeline. And let's just say I want to start here at this moment in time where my playhead is. So I'm going to press Option, that's Alt on Windows, and left square bracket. That actually starts the clip at that moment in time. I'm going to keep on scrubbing, and I maybe want to end it here. So Option, right square bracket. And remember, on Windows, Option is Alt. Alrighty. I'm going to place the playhead all the way to the beginning, and I'm going to press the left square bracket, this time without the Alt or Option key. And my clip moves. Now I need to move the playhead to the out point of my clip. That's the letter O. I'm going to end the work area at that moment in time. That's the letter N. Lots of shortcuts. You know, lots and lots of shortcuts. By the way, if you don't want to use the shortcuts, let me go ahead and undo that. You could take this and you can just shorten it like that. You can take the clip and you can shorten it like yay by clicking and dragging. Eventually, I'm going to encourage you to use the shortcuts only because it's easier, you know, it's faster. So you're going to notice that a lot of the times I'm working with one hand on the keyboard and one hand on the mouse. It's just faster. Alrighty, so now I'm going to right-click the work area bar. That's the name of this gray bar here. And I'm going to choose Trim Comp to Work Area. That's it. So I trim my clip, I trim my comp, and now everything is a little bit shorter, more manageable. So this is my clip. If I want to play it, the space bar does that. And this whole thing is, I don't know, about 5 seconds and some, and that's plenty. Maybe I want to make this my intro shot and I just want to put the words drone services in it. I'm going to grab my type tool, that's this T here. I'm going to click here and I'm just going to type drone services. Drone services. Right, so now what I need to do is animate it. So remember, this is not a tutorial on text animation per se, but it's a tutorial using what we already learned. We are going to go ahead and keyframe the position of this layer. So we select this layer, clearly it's marked by a T, and we press the letter P for position. If you want to change the font color, anything like that, double-click the layer, and then in the character panel, change the color, change the font size, all of those things you can change in there. We are going to go over text animation in a future movie, but just so now this looks the way that you want it to look. So P for position, and I'm going to keyframe position, and I'm going to move this guy. All right, so there you go. I'm going to move the playhead to around 2 seconds, and now I'm going to scrub this value. And by the way, I'm pressing and holding the Shift key while I scrub the value, and that makes my numbers change 10 times faster. If I wanted the numbers to change slower, I would press the Command key on the Mac or Control key on Windows. If I do that while scrubbing, the numbers go 10 times slower. So one is for speed, so great changes, and the other one is for minute changes so that you can fine-tune your animation. All right, so here we go. It's going from point A to point B. This is something that we did before. So now I'm going to select both of these keyframes, and I want to give them an easy ease. Remember, that's F9. So here we go. With the keyframe selected, I press F9, and now a gradual acceleration and a gradual deceleration will happen while my text goes from point A to point B. And let me just show you what that looks like. And there it is. Perfect. Now I'm going to go into the graph editor. So this icon here, and I'm going to have my text start the animation fast and then slow down. This is the speed line. If you have issues with this, this is something that we covered in a previous movie. Go ahead and look it up, and we'll go over temporal interpolation and acceleration and deceleration. So this is going to go from fast to slow, and this is what it looks like. Love it. About the only thing that I have left to do here is to add a little bit of motion blur to make this look a little bit more natural. So I'm going to add motion blur to the layer that's clicking on this icon here, and make sure that this is blue, i.e. selected on the composition level. And now if you play it, we're almost done. The text done. About the only thing that I need to do is fade up my logo. So the name of my company is Mid-Atlantic Drones, so obviously I'm going to bring in that logo. There it is. I'm going to put it in the timeline, and as you can see, it's humongous. So S for scale. So I'm going to position the logo maybe here on the top left corner, and I'm just going to fade it in. So here we go. I'm going to leave the graph editor, and I'm going to play my animation again. At this moment in time, I want for my logo to start fading in. So I'm going to select the logo, press the letter T for opacity. T, remember, it used to be called transparency. And I'm going to keyframe the opacity and change the value to 0. I can now move in time about a second or so, and I can change this back to 100, and now my logo will fade up. Easy peasy in After Effects. That's the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.